All right, everybody, today we have an exciting new episode. We have Brendan traveling all the way to Austin, Texas to sit down with co-founder of the Quai network. Take it away, Brendan.
Wait. I live in Austin. I've lived here for 5 years. I lived with you guys for 2 months. Okay. Today I'm sitting here with Alan Orwick. We're going to talk a little bit about Quai network. He's going to show me some really cool stats. Let's go ahead and dive right in.
My name is Alan Orwick. I'm the CEO of Dominant Strategies, which is the development company for Quai Network. We have 4 other co-founders that are tying back to when we developed a lot of Quai Network at UT. So one of those is our professor, who is a UT ECE professor named Suram Vishwanath. Another one is a close advisor of ours named Carl Creeder. And then 2 others are students that I worked with, one who was an undergrad with me named Jonathan Downing, and another one named Yanni Georgiadis, who is a PhD candidate at the time, who's working to get his PhD actually in the blockchain space right now. What's happening at UT, there are blockchain related courses, and it's amazing to see that because a lot of that curriculum was actually developed by myself and other students. So ensuring that we kind of see what the real world is doing and applying that to the university so that the university doesn't fall behind. My computer science curriculum at UT as a freshman and started learning more of like the in and outs of computer science and CS theory. We all began to work on scaling blockchain technology and seeing what the need was for the ecosystem to really grow, because we saw certain technologies like Bitcoin and Ethereum are limited in different ways. So we wanted to figure out how can we be the trailblazers here and get around these problems to help further the system. And Carl actually was one of the main inventors of this protocol called block reduce, which then is the main idea of creating that sharded blockchain, which then can make transactions cheaper for users and also allow more widespread use of transactions for everyone. Sharding plus the idea of merged mining. And so merged mining gives a unique property in which you can allow miners to mine many chains at once. If you look at Bitcoin today, if I have a big computer that is sucking up a ton of energy, it's only going to be able to mine one single blockchain. But with merged mining, you can allow that computer to use the same amount of resource to mine many chains at once. So if you look at that and you say one chain can only handle so many users, if you add more chains, then you're essentially able to add more users horizontally versus having to just be dedicated to one single blockchain. With Quai, we want to make sure that it's essentially able to be ran on commodity hardware like my MacBook or someone's phone or other things and still be profitable for people to participate. We can combine that with the merged mining idea to make sure that you also have higher capacity so that not only is it more accessible to everybody, but it's more accessible for users to transact on the network as well. We're utilizing a couple other ideas from different blockchains for the CPU bound algorithm. So we're tying that in from Monero, which they're utilizing, and we're tying that in from a few different other places. Merge mining also is not novel. Satoshi actually talked about merge mining in 2010 whenever he was looking at like BitDNS and a few other projects on how to combine that. We're seeing some of these ideas kind of ebb and flow, and they haven't really combined into one single protocol. So we think Quai Network is a great opportunity to take these good ideas and then create one single place for them to operate and flourish under. What we've seen in the blockchain trilemma is kind of a limiting theorem of what people can assign to a blockchain network. And if you think about it in like a sort of a triangle, there's a level of area that you can kind of fall into as a blockchain project. And with Quai, we want to essentially break that down completely and operate in a different plane. The trilemma itself as it exists is security, decentralization, and speed or throughput. With security, you always have to have security because it's a financial software, right? If I get hacked and I lose all my money, like that's not ideal. I'd rather just wait than lose it all. But with decentralization and throughput, those are kind of the gray areas that people are creating projects on right now from what we can tell and have analyzed in the market, because you are allowed to essentially sacrifice some of that decentralization for throughput. When you look at kind of the bare minimum, you can see the requirements to run a node is important. So the accessibility, as we kind of talked about previously with CPU-based mining and other things for people to participate. You kind of see how many people can connect to the network and download the blockchain and who is allowed to do that. So do I need stake to do that? Do I need to have a certain amount of money to connect? And then you also look at just kind of general network topology and accessibility and the level of which the code you can download, is it open sourced and things like that. But with Quai Network, since there's many different blockchains all interacting together, we can kind of flip the trilemma on its head and look at it in a different way because there's different ways to participate in the network. And so while there are kind of a set of chains that make it easier to participate in, there might be a different set of chains that you don't want to participate in. And so you can optimize your node and you can optimize your participation in order to make sure that you have the best feedback to the network, while also making sure that the network itself is better self-sustaining and can provide more transactions.
Do you have any advice, any notes for young developers that are looking to get into programming for blockchains or just programming in general? They're looking to get into the space.
Getting an NFT is one of the best things, and seeing what that is and how to utilize it, what that means. You might necessarily not understand the blockchain itself, but it'll get you interested and get you kind of involved with the Web3 communities and get you kind of in the right Discords and the right Twitter channels and all of that. So the technical piece would be more so, trying to just toy with code and seeing what you can automate and see what code do I get familiar with, what is applicable to me. I see a lot of people start with Python because that's relatively more straightforward. You can apply that more to data science and use that across different kind of fields. Yeah, I just think in general it's important that people get engaged with our community. I'm super excited about what we're building, and I think that it's a good opportunity for a lot of people to develop on Quai, get engaged with Quai, with the social media rewards that we have going on. There's a ton of different ways to get involved with Quai, but I think in general just staying up to date with updates and making sure you follow along.
Thank you so much, Alan.
Yeah,
it's
thank
been
you,
a
Brandon.
pleasure.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Awesome. All right, we'll see you guys next week.